What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. And my name is DJ. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Delma.
What's up?
And this week, we're going to be talking about the newly released She-Hulk Attorney at Law series on Disney+. I'd say this is one of the Disney Plus series that I was kind of looking forward to, just because She-Hulk is a different thing that we haven't gotten, you know?
Yeah, I've always liked her character, and honestly, I think Disney did a really good job of promoting it.
Yeah.
Because the more I saw of it, the more I wanted to see the show.
That is true. And then, like, the trailers or the short little bites on YouTube kept popping up in my feed, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch it. And then, like you said, the more I saw of it, the more I wanted to watch the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they did do a good job marketing. Plus, it's a different kind of show. I know saying comedy with Marvel may make people roll their eyes, but you know, it's an actual comedy and not a action.
Funny moments in an action show.
Yeah. And so that's what we got with episode 1, which I liked. It was fun.
I thought it was I'm gonna put it in the okay category. I really feel like, and I don't know why they stopped doing this. They should have released episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because pilots are always kind of nothingness.
Yeah, because this episode was just pretty much establishing everything.
Exactly.
Not heavy on plot, just kind of like, here's our baseline.
Yeah, so I thought, like, in order to get a real feel for the show, they should have gave us episode 1 and 2 so I can kind of get, like, so now I'm like, okay, this is cool, but I don't really know. It could go either way right now, whether or not, like, okay, this was good, this is not good. And I think, like, releasing episode 2 at the same time kind of helps you establish what the tone of the show is, whether or not I'm going to like it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of like with WandaVision. If we had just got episode 1.
Exactly.
Like, but we got 1 and 2.
Which I don't know why they don't do that anymore.
And it's 9 episodes, just like WandaVision was.
Yeah.
Well, they probably want to just stretch out the time, keeping people subscribed to that good old Disney Plus.
I don't have time, but I should have canceled Disney Plus a long time ago, and I still have it. So.
You can't now. You can't. They've got us. You know, it's funny. It's just like with HBO Max, because I got it and was going to cancel it a month later, and then they got me roped in.
I was definitely going to cancel HBO after the free trial.
Yeah.
And then I didn't, and I still have it. But honestly, HBO is probably the best streaming service I have right now.
Yeah, I still use it. Definitely. Yeah, if not only to watch John Oliver or something like that, but
I mean, yeah, like I'm watching old TV shows on it.
Yeah. And my kids can watch Sesame Street now.
Yep, there you go.
Get the letter of the day. But back to Disney Plus. So yeah, that's probably why they stopped doing it, to get that extra week. Push it a little bit, keep them subscriptions going.
You're not doing me any favors, so therefore you're not doing yourself any favors.
But so episode 1. Now, everybody talking about me because in our previous She-Hulk episode,
you were right.
Yeah.
I
said I did not want it to be like, oh, it's Jennifer Walters, blah blah blah, and then end of episode she's She-Hulk. We got She-Hulk in the first 5 minutes of this episode, which thank you you very much.
Yes, me and you both said, if you have not listened to it last week's episode, please do. We said last week that we wanted all of that establishing stuff to happen in the first episode. So she becomes She-Hulk, she gets her training, done deal, pilot, let's move on. Now, so they did exactly what we said we wanted, which is great.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, that was going to be episode 8.
What was going to be episode 8?
The pilot. They moved episodes around.
The pilot was going to be? Oh, because lawyer show.
Yeah.
So she was saying this is a lawyer show.
Like all of that stuff. So they like rearranged some stuff, and what we saw was not going to happen until like the very end of the series.
Okay, I hope they don't mean turning into She-Hulk, but just her origin.
Yeah, her origin. So her origin, her training with Banner, and all of that. We weren't going to see that until episode 8.
All right, I think it was a good idea to make that episode 1.
Yes.
Because that's kind of what like Daredevil liked to do.
Yeah.
It'd be like episode 5, and it's like, okay, let's get Daredevil's origin, and then let's get Wilson Fisk's
Yeah.
origin, and they did that every season.
Yeah. So apparently they realized people rather see the origin first, which is duh.
Yeah,
I mean, just like, why would I want to wait 6 episodes to find out who this person is?
yeah. I don't
That's
know why they.
horrible.
It's
I'm
a
glad you.
storytelling tactic, which I don't get.
Yeah.
It's like start at
Start
the
at the
beginning.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to read the middle of the book until I finally figure out what this guy's background is. Because at this point, I probably don't like him anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm glad they finally realized we don't like that.
Yeah. So I'm glad they moved that around
Mm-hmm.
because this worked, I think, perfectly as a pilot episode. So whatever they had before, I don't know, but I think this
I
worked.
think this is better. Now, their origin was what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
okay. So we talked about it last week, and because we saw the little trailer, and it's like she accidentally gets Bruce Banner's blood into her bloodstream, and I'm like, and we're questioning that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is what we thought. She cut her arm open.
Mm-hmm.
Long ways, which is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she missed the artery.
I must have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a yikes.
Yeah.
And she helps Bruce out, who has an inhibitor on his arm, which is why he didn't immediately turn into the Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
So he's bleeding without turning into the Hawk, and his blood gets in her cut.
Right. Which we said was gross.
Very gross.
Still gross.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping we were wrong.
Extremely gross. All drippy into that cut. Disgusting.
Gross.
All the AIDS and HIV.
Just I was literally gonna say like just all the AIDS. Because that's how she would definitely get AIDS if he had it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't like it.
Now, here's the thing.
Okay.
This was established in the MCU beforehand. I thought about it, and this is not the first time they've done this with Bruce's blood. If we go all the way back to 2008 with the Incredible Hulk,
Yes.
he
He
Dr. Stearns hit his head
Yeah.
on the console, and Bruce's blood dripped in it, turning him into the leader. It's been established that if it's not going to kill the person,
It's
it'll
gonna
either
turn
kill
them.
them or turn them into a Hawk.
Okay. That part I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with our blood mingling and now I'm Hawk.
Yeah.
I just feel like I would have preferred it's just so random
Mm-hmm.
and weird, and I feel like you had a perfectly good origin that we could have used.
Yeah, because you need a specific line of events for
Yeah.
this to happen. The car has to bend in a certain way to make a sharp object.
Yeah.
She has to cut her arm on that, and she has to pull Bruce out with her arm under a spot that is going to.
Yeah, like he also has to be bleeding. Her arm has to be in a perfect way. We needed a spaceship to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just so random, and I don't feel like it was a change we needed. But you're correct. I didn't even think about the previous Hawk movies where,
Yeah.
because you had the one where Stan Lee dies for drinking the tainted
The
soda.
yeah.
And then, right. So, yeah, I didn't even think about that was established before. And I honestly didn't have a problem with how, I thought it was kind of fast, but I guess that was been
I
established.
thought that too. I was like, how fast did it go through her bloodstream? Where
Yeah.
she just changed immediately.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
All right.
Yeah, the origin itself, I don't like.
Yeah. No, I would rather her get shot by the mafia. I guess they didn't want to do a blood transfusion because of what we previously established. Bruce would not give her his blood. He wouldn't.
Even if she was dying. Because you got to remember, so in a cartoon and in the comics, yeah, I know they were different, but it basically like, it's like, I don't want to, but it's this or nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's kind of a rough area because, like, while I agree with you, this origin for her is just a set of completely random and unlikely events. So it is better that we get like that mob hit. I would have preferred that, especially since she's a lawyer. But then again, I feel like this character, Bruce Banner, even if she was dying, is not going to give her his blood because he would just think it's going to kill her anyway.
Right.
Like you heard it in the show. He's like, no, you have to get away. I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
And I don't think he thought it was going to turn her into a She-Hulk.
Right.
You know.
Okay, that's fair one. That's okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Also, one little missed thing. The inhibitor on his arm, which originally I thought they made up for the show, he did have on at the end of Shang-Chi. when he was talking to Wong and them.
Oh, look at you doing all the research.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, I mean, there were things I was like, hey, because I was saying at the end of that movie, it's like, how he Bruce again?
yeah.
Okay,
So he had the inhibitor on his arm.
all right, cool.
Yeah. So they kind of breezed past that. So that was our question: like, how is Bruce Banner still Bruce Banner, right?
Yeah.
Or why, at least?
Mm-hmm.
And it was in passing. They didn't focus on it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something about him trying to get his arm healed up.
Yeah, something about that, and I don't know, a bunch of random made up science mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
So yeah. Which was okay, fine. Like he did that, and like, oh yeah, I can put this on, and I'm not the Hulk anymore. So cool.
Yeah. Which tells me since he needed the inhibitor, so even though he merged like his personality and the Hulk's personality, he still can't turn back
Right.
willingly.
Yes.
Yeah. So he can willingly turn into the Hulk, but he can't turn back.
Well, can he willingly turn into the Hulk?
Yeah, he's in the Avengers. He established that.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So he can turn back as well.
Yeah, apparently. Interesting.
I guess that makes sense because he said he's always angry.
True.
It's okay.
Yeah. So I was wondering, like, after the car accident, I know we're focusing a lot on this car accident. When he turned, they didn't focus on him. In that situation, since it was a forced turn, would he have turned into Hawk or Smart Hawk?
I don't think Hawk exists anymore, right? Because like he said him and Hawk made a compromise.
Okay.
I don't think regular Hawk exists anymore.
Okay. All right. Fair enough, man. Now, I'm going to talk more about Hawk and Bruce later when we talk about the differences between him and She-Hulk. Because I found out something interesting. I'm not completely sure it's true, so you need to take it with a grain of salt. No, actually, I think it is right. But we'll get to it.
Okay. All right.
All right. So after this, we get her hawked out, and then she ends up at a bar and stuff. Some people complained about
the bar scene.
Was it the bar scene? Oh no! It was another scene. People were complaining.
I know what people. I read some complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought the bar scene in the bathroom was funny.
I thought it was cool, and unless you've been a woman in a woman's bathroom, ladies will help you.
Which is good. I feel that. That's
They
like
will,
a bro moment. I know it's ladies.
Yeah.
But it's like a bro moment.
like they will legit help you.
They're like, whoever he is or she or them,
Yeah.
you
Like,
don't need them.
Yeah, like girl, I don't need shoes. Girl, this bathroom nasty. You need shoes. Like legit. I feel like yeah. Absolutely. You see a woman in distress in the bathroom, you will get help.
That was nice. It was funny and it was nice.
Yeah.
And she got help. And then, of course, you got the guys not only catcalling, because that's one thing, but then after she dismissed them.
They kept going.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, my question was where was Bruce? Like,
where was Bruce?
Like, she runs off into the woods as a crazy hawk lady. You're not following her?
Maybe he turned into Hawk.
That would be the only excuse for him not being able to track her down. And then she's like, she had to call her cousin to come and get her.
Yeah.
Like, how did you lose her in the woods?
Yeah, because if he's Smart Hawk, he'll go find her, right?
Right. Like, I just don't understand. I don't know. I was thinking the whole time, like, Bruce, you wasn't chasing after her this entire time? Didn't make any sense.
So maybe he turned into Hawk. You gotta remember on the cartoon, like, there were different versions of the Hawk that he could turn into. So maybe Smart Hawk is just a version that he can turn into.
Then that needs to be explained ahead of time.
They definitely need some explaining for the Hawk, but I feel like we're never going to get unless they do a TV show.
Okay, just because I didn't understand why she was by herself for so long.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, but she ends up in Hawk's Mexico lab that Tony Stark built for him. There are a lot of nice moments set up for Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, which I was like, it was good because, we never really focused on. They did have that relationship since Avengers.
They did, and then I guess it was just during that 5 years that they grew even closer, which I thought was like a really nice touch. They built a lab, they built a nice little bar, which I thought was like, oh, that's really cool and touching. We could have had a little bit more of that, I think.
definitely. So that was nice. So this is where it starts the whole training for She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that this was only one episode.
Yes.
It's like I can see why you need it in the story,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm glad like some shows would stretch this out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Just keep it compact. Just this is what it is. Now, the only thing that I do hope, and maybe I'm jumping just a little bit, is that like she didn't want to listen to Bruce, which I'm fine with that. But I do hope there's a moment in the show somewhere down the line where she kind of learns, like, some of the things he was trying to tell her was useful.
Yeah, well, like her losing control,
Yeah.
and he was kind of saying like, okay, you have a handle on it now, but you don't know stressful situations, your emotions and stuff, and that's true. And she was saying, oh, I know how to deal with my anger, which is what people were getting mad at.
Yeah.
And she mentioned why she can deal with her anger, and it's false. They showed it in the show.
Yeah.
With the guys that followed her and catcalled her, right?
Yeah.
She unwillingly turned into the She-Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so it's false. And so I'm hoping, like when Bruce is training her, she's arrogant, egotistical, which at that moment she's saying, and which is why I hope later on in the show it kind of backs up like, hey, she probably should have been listening to these things.
Yeah.
Is that like, I'm not you. Because they're different, right?
Right, she's not.
He spent decades trying to control the Hawk. She doesn't have that same problem.
Right.
So I can easily see where she's like, yo, I got this handled. I've been handling anger issues my entire life. This is cool. I don't need this.
Right.
Which is, like you said, it's not true because we already seen her out of control.
Yeah. And it's not like Hulk out of control. Yeah. So, it may not be that bad, but she can hurt someone unwillingly just because she lets it get away from her. And yeah, I agree. I was going to mention that I do want to see that happen in the series. Just so like everything Bruce was saying isn't false. She needs to abide by some of those lessons.
Yes.
Yeah, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Now everyone got mad that she said, she can control her anger because, listening to guys catcalling her and mansplaining to her, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was fine. Only thing is, the way they put it was, it sounded like they were saying that she can control her anger because she's a woman. And I'm like, no, I know women that can't control their anger. So I think it should be more focused on that. Jennifer knows how, because of what she deals with.
Right.
She can
herself.
control her anger.
Yeah, I didn't take it as she can control her anger because she's a woman, but I guess I could see how people see it that way. Yeah, I just think, I think she was a little narrow-minded. Like, I deal with all of this stuff every day. I know how to control my anger.
Definitely narrow-minded, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I can see it that way. But at the same time, I think before we're going to get angry at the show for being a man-hating show.
It's not.
Let's see more than one episode.
Yeah.
Before we get all angry about women.
Well, anytime we have a woman-centric anything,
they're going to pick apart everything she says and does.
Yeah.
So I just think let's see more episodes, then see whether or not they went down one route or the other.
I don't even think it's going to be like that.
No, I really didn't get those vibes, but some people are more sensitive to these things than I am.
Plus, Jennifer's character is very I don't know, for lack of a better word, endearing. Like, you like her character. She's a fun character. I like the dynamic between her and Bruce. They seem like cousins. Yeah. So yeah, all that seemed fine. They showed in training how much control she does have. She still has her personality when she is She-Hulk. She may be a bit more confident.
Yeah.
Which is similar to the comics.
Yeah.
So you have that. Her being able to change back and forth is similar to the comics. I think another thing that's going to be heeding Bruce's warnings. I think in this show, there's going to get to a point where she can't turn back into Jennifer. And if we look at the trailers, she's talking to people as She-Hulk in that little group of superpowered people, walking around all the time as She-Hulk. I think she's going to get stuck as She-Hulk at some point.
I didn't learn to embrace that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you notice? That's an interesting point, and you're probably right. There's probably a point where she's just like, this is me now. There was like, I don't know, maybe because they moved things around in the show. Like, he's talking to her as Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, we need to see, at the moment that you can turn back and forth. And I'm like, she already turned back. You're talking to her as her regular self.
Maybe so. I think I didn't notice it as much, but that probably because they move scenes around.
Yeah. And then we got the scene where he wakes her up with the air horn, like, oh, yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, we already had her as an it was weird.
Mm.
It was weird.
Got you.
I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. But
that happens. It's hard sometimes.
It does, the continuity. Continuity. There you go.
I mean, continuity is something.
It's something. It's a word today. The continuity person is probably gonna break it and catch it. It's cool.
Yeah, it was all good. Yeah. So we're mentioning about her swapping back and forth, and she showed that she can do it at will. Even at will turn back into Jennifer, which is something Bruce can't do because we established he needed an inhibitor to stay as Bruce.
Yes.
I thought of something, especially since, he's all surprised, like, you didn't have another person in your mind or whatever. Bruce has DID.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, before he was the Hawk.
I thought we knew that already.
I guess I never thought of it, but
okay.
Yeah. Because he was abused by his father, which they showed in a horrible Hawk movie.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he has DID, which is why his transformation to the Hawk has a separate personality.
Right. Well, I mean, think about it. If the cartoon, I only remember the gray, and there's another one, isn't there?
I think they only did gray and green for the cartoon.
Okay, but like basically, the gray and the green fights for who's going to be the Hawk.
Yeah.
At some point in the cartoon. So, I mean, not knowing his full history, like I probably read. Did I read? I don't know if I read any Hawk comic books, but it's like, to me, they established like, yeah, those are different personalities within him, and I thought we established that somewhere else too.
Yeah, I mean, I always knew it was different personalities. I never, like, I don't know why, make a connection like, oh, he has the actual disorder. I always considered it as an effect from the gamma exposure, but instead of it being an effect from that, it is just Bruce.
Right.
Already has it. Thing is, I think he's surprised because he doesn't know he has it. Like us, he thinks it was just an effect from his gamma exposure.
Right. But I mean, if you think about it, right, like he's constantly battling with the Hawk about who gets to be the outside person.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, that's a whole nother person in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you think about it, no other Hawk people have this issue. Abomination is still Emil Blonsky.
True.
She-Hulk is still Jennifer. I know he's not in the MCU now, but Red Hawk is still Thaddeus Ross. True. All of the Hawk people
are all
maintain
Hawks,
their personality
except for him,
except for Bruce, because he's the one with DID.
You think maybe it's because he got like the brunt of the gamma exposure, or I'm not quite. Does he get exposed and then blow up or something?
It was an explosion. And he gets exposed by. They never do this in any of the shows, but yeah.
Okay.
Like from the cartoon, it was an explosion.
Yeah, I don't know which one is correct.
Yeah. No, I think that's why he's the strongest.
Okay.
Like none of them can beat the Hawk because he has the most.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah. So in that being said, her character makes sense. Why she didn't have to go through his 15-year plan.
Right.
Because she doesn't have the same problem.
Right, she's not battling another person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can just Hawk out.
Yeah.
Which may make some subtle changes to her personality, but it's not another person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's pretty much all that happened this episode. It was the training and then she left.
Yeah, she left like, yo, I don't need this, I'm out. And then he was all hurt, like, okay, come back. Random, I wanted to call her Tatiana. That is not her name.
Titania.
Yeah. just what was that?
Okay, so we definitely need some explanation of what happened in the courtroom, but I think this does establish the tone. Like, if the training didn't, the courtroom definitely established the tone for this series. It is not serious.
Okay, but make it make sense.
Yeah, they're gonna have to explain what happened. People are theorizing that maybe either someone knew she was She-Hulk and wanted her to turn,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe she was on the side of the defense.
And so
And
then she buzzed through a
yeah, that'd
wall.
be a horrible idea. Or maybe she was against him and she came in there to kill him or something.
But she didn't do it very. I don't know. It was so random. Like this random lady comes busting through a wall
Of a courtroom.
of a yeah.
Why? They definitely need to explain what happened.
Just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. But she turns She-Hulk, saves the day, which again, that's another point. One of the things that Bruce said that turned out to be right, because she said, I don't want to be a superhero, and he pretty much told her she didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
She doesn't, because if there's a situation,
She's going to step in.
like if you, and that's fair, like most good-hearted people, if you're there and you can help,
You will
help.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, she's forced to be a superhero. And we got to close it out with some Eve.
Dude, I was so like, I have not heard that song in so long. And I was like, this to me was just the perfect song to end this episode on.
Yeah, actually, you know what? The pop music in it, and I'm like, that's good.
Yeah.
It fit.
Yeah, it fit. And then that song got stuck in my head all weekend.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Sitting up here.
La 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 la.
Who's that girl? So I want to see more of what's gonna happen. I want to see like the plot unfold. Is there going to be an overarching plot, or are we just gonna get bad guys?
Well, I think there might be some, but someone needs to explain the spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't think the spaceship is going to be explained in this series. I honestly think they put it in there to further Hulk's story. Someone from Sakaar is looking for the Hulk, and this is going to show up in some movie or show later on.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
You're probably correct. But that's so random and dumb. We didn't need it then.
It is random and dumb. I don't know why they would do that. Does Hulk have a son?
Hulk does have a son.
No, I'm saying like in the MCU, is it his son?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess.
But then they kind of like, they went, you were looking for the Hulk, you went and you caused the car crash by accident.
Right.
And
you didn't get the Hulk.
Yeah, did you just fly away?
That's how you know it's random.
Yeah.
It literally popped in the middle of the street and then disappeared. And I'm like, no one else saw this giant spaceship. It wasn't subtle.
It was not subtle at all. But no, we're gonna be focused on She-Hulk for the rest of the show.
I'm cool with that. We don't need any more Hulk / Bruce Banner. I'm fine with that.
Probably in episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just think that the spaceship needs explaining. Why is there random people busting in the middle of a courtroom needs explaining.
Mm-hmm. In the straight up WWE outfit.
Yeah, what is that outfit?
Like, I tell you, that's on
what
purpose.
What is that outfit?
That is dead on purpose.
That dumb wrestling move. I'm like, why are we kicking right now? Well, it didn't make any sense.
It looked kind of bad too.
Because it was so stupid. Yeah, like literally, it's just like, oh, should I stick my leg out like this? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, yeah, we're just gonna hang you on these swings.
Yeah, yeah, you can clearly see she's on the wire.
Like, yeah. It didn't make any sense. I have no idea. And first of all, if you're fighting someone, you're not gonna like let me just hop in with a kick.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not like Titania. The character is a smart character.
It was still weird.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. She obviously shows up more often in the show. So, yeah, very, very strange. I need an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
But so I guess she's gonna get hired by the defendant.
Yeah, the JLKH.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now she's working for the prosecutor's office because she was the assistant district attorney.
Yeah.
So yeah, so apparently at some point she decides to jump ship.
Mm-hmm.
More money.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why only giving us one episode does not help.
True, because we didn't get, like, we established the tone, but we didn't get the story beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, because the episode 1 was all of the trailers.
Yes. Which, you know, I appreciate that too. So we don't know
fine with
exactly
that.
what's going to happen.
That's cool. I have no complaints about you doing that. Just give me episode 2 also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see episode 2 this Thursday.
Yep.
And I will watch it.
I will, yes.
Yeah. So of course we don't rank shows until the end. So we'll see.
How have we been ranking them at the end?
Maybe.
I feel like we haven't done that for the last few shows.
We haven't done all the shows.
Well, we did one. You didn't post the episode.
Well, yeah. We did Ms. Marvel too. Did I not post Ms. Marvel?
You did not post Ms. Marvel.
Oh. Well, okay. We liked Ms. Marvel.
It was a watch by phone close if you guys didn't know.
Okay.
We had a whole conversation about the X-Men and the Mutants. You guys did not hear.
Well, because we talked about it on
and we didn't have that same conversation.
Well, fine.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So, yes, this time we may or may not rank the show at the end because I don't think we do it all the time.
We will rank this show at the end. 9 weeks from now in October.
I'll be dead.
Okay. Okay. It was something else I wanted to talk about with Jennifer with that courtroom scene. I don't remember what it was though.
Her closing argument wasn't that great.
It might not have been. She needs some help from Matt Murdock. No, CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, while everyone's complaining about it, I don't think it was that bad. It actually, I thought it was pretty good. If you take stills, like if you pause it, like the CGI is really good. Like you can see every strand of her hair and stuff. It looks a bit weird in motion, but I think that's because you have a green person.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how much better they could make it.
TV budget. No, I thought it was fine. Like I only have a problem with CGI if it's off-putting.
Yeah. And it definitely wasn't off-putting. I didn't even think about it while I was watching.
I'm fine. Like, is it the greatest CGI ever? No. But I think it was fine. It's I have no issues with the CGI.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely put in a lot of work. Props to the special effects department.
Thank you for changing, because that first trailer, though,
it did look a little rough, but it probably wasn't done.
Oh, it was done.
You think it was done?
I think they did a straight up Sonic the Hedgehog change.
I don't know, because sometimes they have them working up into like release.
I wholeheartedly believe this was it. And then everyone on the internet was like, this CGI sucks. You guys need to fix this. And it was like...
And they fixed it.
And they fixed it.
Okay.
Because I think when they fixed it, they went back and said, what do we move some episodes around?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. Well, those are our thoughts on the She-Hulk series. Mm-hmm. When do you think Daredevil's going to pop up?
The end.
Yeah, episode 8 now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the only thing I want to see.
Yeah. But it may be a full episode of Daredevil.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do it, give me a full episode.
I want an episode of Matt Murdock and an episode of Daredevil.
Oh, so 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I want both people.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, with that being said, have you seen She-Hulk? What did you think about it? Let us know. And if there is a comment section for you to leave comments on wherever you're watching or listening to this, leave a like and subscribe wherever you're listening if there's a way to subscribe. And on YouTube, definitely subscribe and hit that notification so you know when we have our next episode coming up. And next week, we'll be talking about Batman.
Yes, the animated series. They're coming up on their anniversary. I'm not going to say which one. But yeah.
Okay, next week we'll be talking about Batman, the animated series, a beloved 90s cartoon. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stay tuned for that episode as well. With that being said, thanks so much again, and we will catch you next time.